Join me, YouTube muscly folks, as I do battle with a new workout while I'm on 2,750 calories, which is hardly jack shit in my world. I'm used to eating 3,600 before, and with 2,750, my glycogen is not there. I've already lost 9 or 10 pounds in the last week and a half, and I mean, a lot of that's water weight, but that water weight would be in my muscles right now pulling this weight, and it's not, so it's really a nightmare, and I tweaked my program up. So this is my heaviest set that I did, which was 255, and I got 12 reps. I wasn't really like worried necessarily about doing amazing on these because I'm using a pretty conservative training weight, but I did push it a little bit because I wanted to get that deadlift buzz, if you know what I'm talking about, the little feeling in your dome that you get that makes you feel invincible because your body is releasing every chemical it has in the books to try and make you feel better about all the pain you're suddenly experiencing as it is struggling to adapt to what it's just done. But that reward sensation was something that I really wanted to have the experience of right now. And you can see the face.
Nice.
Bam! Of it. Yeah, that's a good vibe. That's my favorite thing about the deadlift, honestly, and that's one reason why I used to do these really crazy deadlift workouts where I would sit there and I would do like 315 for singles, and I'd do like 25 singles, and then I'd do like 275 for 5 sets of 5, and then one time I even did deficits 275 for like 3 or 4 more sets of 5. It was just too much volume for me. I'm a little dude, be doing all that volume. But on this workout with the no food, the volume of tweaking up my program where I took the back squat assistance and I replaced it with front squats, which I haven't done front squats in a long time, so they were pretty challenging just in terms of the neuromechanical, remembering how to fire all the muscles to keep the elbows up. And I think I had my stance wrong at a couple of points. I had to adjust my stance. So like there was just like, it was out of control, total chaos, and a lot harder than front squats had been when I made them my primary leg movement a while back. I hadn't even been doing them, so it was a core challenge for sure. And one of the other tweaks I made in my program is I swapped lunges with 5 sets of hanging leg raises. And I've never even done 5 sets of hanging leg raises before. I've only done 4. 4 has always been pretty hard on the 4th set. And then doing them after particularly deadlifts and front squats kind of turned it into a core nightmare. It may be good for me to see if I can adapt to that, but I also may need to make some changes. Maybe if I am not so strict on how many reps I'm requiring on the hanging leg raises, or maybe even go lighter on the weight on the front squats at points, just to save some core strength left over for the hanging leg raises, because front squats are pretty effective at almost any weight. Just the angle that you're doing that at, something about the way it hits your quads, you can just really contract them, and they respond to low weights on almost anything, which is one of the funny things. Is there's girls out there that will try and do squats, and they'll do like partial light squats, not realizing that they're trying to build up their butt, not realizing that all that's going to do is make their thighs grow, because the studies show that the squat engages the quads at low weight and at partial ranges, pretty much the same as it does on almost any other amount of weight or range. It's just the glutes and the hamstrings begin to kick in as it gets deeper and heavier. But when it's not deeper and heavier, it is not necessary to fire them, so they're not going to fire, and instead the quads are going to take over, and they're fully pretty much engaged even at a light weight in the first place. So that would be a really bad strategy for a girl who is looking to trying to get her glutes to catch up with her legs. It would actually worsen the problem. Hanging leg raises I wanted to swap in because I wanted to introduce have in this position a quad exercise that does not require knee flexion, because just between all the other exercises, I was just worried about tendinitis. I like to play a little bit of basketball and stuff, and I want to be able to spare the knee having to flex on one exercise that was able to also hit the quads. But the problem is that this is really decimating my core. But it's the only abs exercise that I do. So it's possible that I could just man the hell up, and maybe when I'm on more food, it'll be all right. But at 2,750 calories, by this point in the workout, I've got no core strength, and this starts to get to where on the fourth and fifth set, I was having to rest pause just to make it through. I didn't have the stamina or the I guess glycogen. I mean, I didn't have energy. I remember I was just sitting there feeling like I was like quivering, like I just didn't have any more juice to go up there. And that's the breaks when you're on a diet. And that's one thing that sometimes I think people confuse people into thinking that they can be on a diet type calorie level and that they can perform really great and that they can feel good and that they don't have to be hungry. And all those things are a lie. You're going to feel horrible. You're going to you even get depressed for no reason. You're going to feel hungry at certain points in the day. When you're working out, you're going to be bad at everything and annoyed with yourself, and you're not going to be as good as you would be if you were eating a lot of food. And that's just a reality situation. And if people were more aware that they're facing that, then they can prepare themselves to cope with it better than being lied to and told that, nah, you just eat the right kind of berries and stuff, then you won't even never be hungry again. Like, oh, hell. No, you will be hungry as hell when you're in a deficit, and that's what loses weight, being in a deficit. Your body doesn't want to, so it tells you, hey, you're not eating anything, by the way, heads up, in case you're wondering. So when it does that, it's like you have to just ignore it because you know that signal is not useful to you at that point, So here I'm having to rest pause to even get my reps. It's just a really